Hey all, it's Dan, your numerical lion here, back with another video. And I stumbled upon this article from a television news station that actually puts out print as well. Because, you can do that too. So, anyway, they say observing 1 year COVID anniversary, Scott optimistic about road ahead, and that's in quotes. So if you go to the calculator and put that in, that equals 147 and 105. Kind of like Freemason 147. And then the 105, well, that's just masonry. And of course, it's funny, Governor Scott was born on August 4th. Here it says 84. So anyway, let's go look at this some more. Notice it says this screenshot was taken at 7:04, like 74, 16 degrees. If you write out 16, it equals 33. 74 and 33 are often paired together. And for the people that don't know this language, that's what's happening, that they're putting these numbers out there. And so it's published on March 5th. So in Montpelier, Vermont, this weekend marks the 1 year anniversary of the first confirmed case of COVID 19. So Governor Scott said that while Vermonters have endured an incredibly painful year, the rapid increase in vaccine availability should give everyone optimism about the road ahead. So they link this as you need the vaccine, you know, and it'll get better if you take the vaccine. So he's saying, with the possibility of an increased supply, we may be able to open eligibility much sooner than we had hoped for. And I'll get to why this is just ridiculous in a minute if you don't know already. So, as of Friday, nearly 114,000 Vermonters have received at least one vaccine dose, or about 20%. Notice the 114. What we were talking about, he's optimistic about the road ahead. 114,000 Vermonters have received a injection. So that's why. And 65. Why are they using the 65? Coronavirus 65. That's why. If I can spell. Coronavirus 65. Also pandemic, which this is not a pandemic, but they're calling it a pandemic, equals 65. So he goes on and on and on, and it's so funny because everybody wants the vaccine. It's just I can't fathom it, but hey, this is the world we live in. So that he's being criticized for not vaccinating prisoners yet, and the ACLU is mad, and I'm not gonna bore you with the details, but and it's just crazy. And then Leahy, old man Leahy, pushing for coronavirus relief, and God knows what's in that bill. Probably not much help for regular people, because that's the order of the day. So, and then Vermont Health Commissioner Dr. Mark Levine criticized states like Texas that brought mandates. He said the country is very close to beating the virus, but there's still a very chance we could fumble the ball. Get into that. And, as of Friday, Vermont health officials reported 126 new coronavirus cases. Of course, they're using this flawed PCR test for a total of 15,819. There have been a total of 207 deaths basically this year. So let's get to the decode here. So as of August 1st, Vermonters and visitors are required to wear masks. That's when the mask mandate hit. And look at the chart of this is their own chart of what's been happening with the cases since the mask mandate. It's actually been going up. And you can see it's kind of going down a little bit, leveling off, maybe coming up a little bit. But no, look at that. New cases, 7. 7-day average 4. There's that number 74 again. But that's when the mask mandate started and started to go up. You'll see this time and time again. If you know Thomas Woods, check out Tom Woods. He's got charts about this kind of stuff. But I got that from the government. So the mask mandate came on 8/1. COVID-19 pandemic equals 81. That's what they're calling this. It's got a lot of different names, but that's one of them. And I said March 4th, the latest information they had, new cases 199, 7-day average 121. Of course, 199, a prime number. It's the 46th prime number, right? And why is that interesting? We got the 46th president, and also virus equals 46. So that's why that's interesting. So here's a look at the map of Vermont and the new cases and how many per county. I'm in this county here, only 54 cases, and from a flawed PCR test that always does false positives. And they don't talk about this stuff, which is well known in the medical community that there are false positives from this test. But there we are, sitting at 54, right? 15,964 total cases, 24 people hospitalized who supposedly have COVID, even though the hospitals get money for saying that their patients have COVID. So we don't even know if these figures are correct. 2 hospitalized in ICU. 13,305 people recovered from, right? 83.3% of cases. Survivability rate very high. 208 people have died in the state of Vermont since this pandemic started. And that's 1.3% of the cases, 208. And because of that, everybody's got to wear a mask, and they've shut down businesses and closed the schools, although, kids are coming back. My kid's now doing 4 days a week at school, but they all got to wear a mask, and they sanitize the heck out of everything, all for this. For what? For nothing, basically, in my opinion. So 208 dead, right? Vermont equals 107, 107, a prime number, the 28th prime. So that's why there's 208 dead, 208, 28, kind of like Vermont. And now is not the time to drop state health precautions, this guy's saying, because we'll fumble the ball. Very real chance. They always use sports metaphors, and we know the sports is rigged. So there's that. As of Friday, Vermont officials reported 126 new coronavirus deaths, right? So fumble ball 70, coronavirus 70. Thing is coded. Dr. Mark Levine, 132 and 75. And where's he going with this? The only thing that can help is this vaccine, 132 and 57, the reflection of 75. 126 cases today as of 3/5. Vermont equals 35. Vermont 35. 30. This news comes out on 3/5. It was by the numbers. And 126 cases, right? And vaccinating Vermonters 126, and vaccine availability 126. Right? That was the whole subheading or whatever of this article, but the title of the video. Somewhere, yeah, vaccinating Vermonters. Because that's what they want. They want people to get vaccinated. First, they're going with the soft sell, and they're going to get a little tougher later on, but that's what it is right now. And I ran into a friend. I was hiking with a friend of mine, and I ran into this guy, and he's excited to get his vaccination. He's like my age or a little younger. Just like, oh God, I don't even know what to say to these people. Like, all right, go ahead, get the shot. Nothing I can do to stop you. So yeah, rush out, get it. Unelected health bureaucrats have taken over basically, and look at Vermont Health Commissioner equals 113. We all know this number. Dishonest number for sure. Right? Dishonest. 113. Not true. 113. Green screen. You can manipulate events with a green screen. Ever see Wag the Dog? Great movie if you haven't seen it. Not true. 113. Fiction. There's a big list of this stuff, but you get the idea. That's what 113 is. Vermont VT Health Commissioner. So they're all going by the CDC guidelines. Of course they are, because look what CDC guidelines goes by. Equals 74. That number of gematria. Let's go back in time to the first shipment of COVID-19 vaccine to arrive in Vermont. December 14th is when they got it. December 14th. What's interesting about that day, so Governor Scott announced that the arrival in Vermont of the first 1,950 doses of the Pfizer biotech COVID-19 vaccine. I think Pfizer got $195 billion from the government for it. For like 100 million. Anyway, so that's funny that they should say that. So he's saying, look what he's saying. This is an important milestone and an essential step toward defeating a virus that's devastated families and businesses throughout Vermont and around the globe. Well, let's just talk about Vermont. The only thing that's devastated Vermont is you and your lockdown orders and your mask orders and your social distancing orders. We've got 208 people dead. You would call that a virus that's devastated families and businesses? I mean, I'm not discounting the dead people, but that's not a pandemic. That's not an epidemic. That's the flu, right? Every year we get the flu, people die. And a lot of those people, I'm sure, had underlying causes, and I'm sure a bunch of them didn't even die of coronavirus, but whatever. So from the arrival of the vaccines to this news is 82 days. 82 days. Vermont equals 82. Big number for Vermont. And Pfizer equals 82. That great company, Pfizer, right? It was released on a day with 66 and 30 numerology. Perfect day, because vaccine equals 30, and COVID-19 more specifically equals 66. COVID equals 26, virus equals 26, right? 12 plus 14, that's when it was released on a day with 26 numerology, that number of God. They're playing God, basically, with people's lives, telling them what to do, how close you can stand to somebody. You have to wear a mask, go into a school, etc. So anyway, 66, that number of the beast. The name, including the vaccine, the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine equals 149. 149, a prime number, the 35th prime, right? Vermont 35, we just talked about it. This news comes down on 3/5. It was that day that the vaccines came was the 349th day of the year. 349, a prime number, the 70th prime. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but coronavirus equals 70, right? Fumble the ball equals 70. So I want to know what it is. And if you go to the FDA.gov media, whatever download, you can see this. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. That'll help. So what is the Pfizer biotech COVID-19 vaccine? So they say it's an unapproved vaccine. This is what they're telling you. It's unapproved. That may prevent COVID-19. There is no FDA approved vaccine to prevent COVID-19, but still, they want people to take it. It's unapproved. It may prevent COVID-19, and there's no FDA approved to prevent it. Has it been used before? It's unapproved. In clinical trials with 20,000 individuals, 16 years of age or older have at least have received at least one dose. This is their trial. 20,000 people. That's it. What are the benefits of using it? It's shown to prevent COVID-19 following 2 doses given 3 weeks apart. The duration of the protection against COVID-19 is currently unknown. Wow. So you could take it, the vaccine, and not know, you know, how long you're being protected for. Why bother taking it? So what are the risks? So side effects that have been reported. These have been reported, right? Injection site pain and tiredness, headache, muscle pain, chills, joint pain, fever, injection site swelling, injection site redness, nausea, feeling unwell, swollen lymph nodes, non-severe allergic reactions such as rash, itching hives, or swelling of the face, severe. They say they're severe. It can cause severe allergic reactions, right? What are the, I mean, I don't mean to discount COVID, but it seems like COVID is like this, or maybe a little better as far as side effects. So, over 76 million doses of COVID 19 vaccines were administered in the United States from December 14th through March 1st. 76 million, right? Vaccines equals 76. Vaccines 76. What else is the 76 number that we know? Blood sacrifice? Is this a blood sacrifice? We'll find out. They're not going to tell us though. So during this time, VAERS, this reporting thing, this is how many re, reports they've received who died of COVID-19 vaccine. And it's probably a very narrow criteria. They don't want, of who died from this. 1,381. And they're saying, oh, it's CDC and FDA physicians review each case, report as soon as it's notified, NBC, whatever, da 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 da. Yeah, I don't know if I trust these people. 1,381 deaths, supposedly. That's a prime number, the 221st prime. Interesting, too, because on their website, information about the vaccine, they say you're supposed to get 2 shots 21 days apart, or 221. Huh. 221. And these are how many deaths there are. I wonder if that's an arbitrary number. I don't know, but it also equals this, the Bavarian Illuminati 221. Who's behind this? They want to get everybody chipped. They want people to die. The great culling. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. 439. That's what's handing down all these directives to all these states. They're guidelines. They're not even laws, but people are following them. Equals 439. 439 is a prime number, the 85th prime, and that's interesting because what do they always say about vaccines, and the COVID-19 included? It's safe and effective. That equals 85, right? Even though there's plenty of evidence to saying that they're not safe and they're not effective. But they still keep saying this over and over again. Just repeat the lie over and over again. Also equals 560 or 56. We see this number a lot this year. Coronavirus 56. It's also equals 77, safe and effective. It's safe and effective. Strictly theater. That's that 77 number for you. And it's 77 days from when they rolled it out, right? Till when they're reporting it. 77 days. It's also exactly 11 weeks. And FDA equals 11. So then one last thing for you. Pfizer BioNTech 222. You've seen that number before, right? What is it? The Wuhan coronavirus. 222. What is that? Order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. That's a 222 number. And this is from Pfizer. I mean, look at Pfizer. Let's look at them in depth a little bit here. And we'll finish up soon. So they're 64th, world's largest pharmaceutical company. It was ranked 64th in 2020. I thought they'd be higher up than that. 64, we know that number. The kill number, 64th. Right? 64 squares on a checkerboard, on a chessboard. 64. 8 times 8 is 64. Right? And total revenue, 47 billion, 0.64. 47, there's that number. And look at all the great drugs that they make. Lipitor, right? What's Lipitor? Lipitor, 99, 45, like, what's that? Ritual. So they're on 42nd Street, of course they are, right in Midtown Manhattan. In 1849, 272 years ago in New York City, Charles Pfizer was one of the founders. Charles Pfizer. Look at his name. Charles Pfizer, of course, 74. He's got the 70 like coronavirus, the 83 like murder, the Jesus Christ number. Charles Pfizer. And here's their headquarters. Let's check the whole thing. This is what gematria is good for. You can see what's going on with these people, as if you didn't know. Hey, 122, kind of the reflection of 221. And then we got 149, right? Like Centers for Disease Control. They probably work hand in hand with those guys. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention was 149 as well. 365 days every year. Yep, their revenue. Rich people getting richer, drugging people. You know, Lipitor, LDL, Lyseria, Diflucan. I was looking at some of the side effects or the ingredients in the Pfizer BioNTech COVID vaccine. And just like, I don't know what this stuff is, but if you look at the gematria of it, just for fun, what is it? Look at that, 330, like 33, 174, 177, like New World Order. I don't know what that stuff is, but I thought that was interesting. Anyway, yeah, go ahead, get the shot if you want. It's a free country, I think. But did you know that it might not protect? They don't know how long it's going to protect you if it even does. It's not even approved. Do you know this stuff? There's side effects. It's unapproved. You know, it's like people will take anything. They've been scared into this. Oh, 149, the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine was also 149. What was I saying was 149? Oh, it was over here. Their address. Huh. They're going to make a crap load of money off of this, no doubt. Because they're all in bed together, that's for sure. Anyway, thank you so much. I'm glad you could join me for this video. Talk to you next time.